Is there anything you're seeing on your face that you would like to improve?
How much time do we have?
I've had way more insecurities about my body and physique than my face.
My forehead's a little too big. I don't like my chin. My jaw is very soft. I do wonder if there's anything we can do about this.
I agree with you, unfortunately.
I kind of was hoping you'd be like, nah!
We're gonna have a consultation with a plastic surgeon, and then we're gonna have a Photoshop artist recreate what it would be like if we got plastic surgery. All the fun with none of the blood. Guys think about what their face looks like and how attractive they are all the time. I think I'm a catch. There are reasons that my wife is married to me, but being super hot isn't one of them. I've never thought that I should get plastic surgery. It seems like most people don't actually need it.
I'm pretty conflicted about this whole thing in general. Of the things that I don't like about myself, my face has always been one of the things that I'm kind of okay with. But my hair's going away, right? That's just something that I'm either going to need to take steps via surgery to fix or accept. I see why this is something that I would consider in life, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been called ugly. Of course I've been called ugly. You have glasses, you're a nerd. Well, it doesn't matter that I'm not the best looking, I can be really funny. I can distract you with all of these cool skills I've developed. As a whole, society doesn't demand that men's faces look as nice as society demands women's. You're never advertised as a teenager like, ooh, make sure you moisturize, boy. You wanna be a hot boy. You don't get that messaging. Oh, wouldn't it be fun though if you did?
The first time I went to Korea, I stepped off the plane. My relatives didn't even say hi, they grabbed me and literally started pointing at my face to say what I could change. Here's the real fucked up thing. I'm a Korean American who grew up in Texas where there were no other Asians, so I was already dealing with the pressures of being beautiful by Korean standards. And then when I walked out into the real world, I was just constantly bullied by white kids who said I was really ugly. But I gotta be honest, like, that was my truth when I was growing up, and I did hate the way I looked. We should learn how to accept ourselves, but we can't deny the pain or the marginalization that we experienced, even on the level of facial beauty.
When somebody has something that bothers their self-esteem and you can fix that for them, oh, it can give somebody a whole new outlook on life, and it's amazing to see that. I would say people's awareness of their own face is very prevalent now, and clearly it's from social media. You know, I've built this practice based on delivering 10s. And if I feel like, you know, what you want's gonna give you a 5, but I know I can give you a 9 or 10, I will say no.
And do you think you can turn the four of us into 10s?
That may be hard work, but you guys are already 10s. So
The perfect male face.
John Cena. Or Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's like a face that implies that you're muscular.
The Hemsworth clan, really any celebrity named Chris. Yeah, even if they don't start beautiful, somehow they just find their way there.
We've diversified more, and I think the younger people are seeing a much wider gamut of what is considered beautiful. That involves race. That also involves masculinity. I think a lot of younger people are very attracted to men who also exude femininity.
That makes me think like, oh, is there a perfect male face? What if each face is unique? There is a perfect male face, and we're gonna find it today.
So you guys are representing a certain percentage of my practice who come in and say, give me everything you got. Tell me what you see, and I want to do whatever it is that you say, and hold no punches.
I'm excited to find out what part of my face is shitty. What part of my face is nice. Oh, I shouldn't do that, I don't want the wrinkles. Let's fantasize about perfect,
Okay,
Keith.
let's fantasize over. Okay, take your glasses off.
You got it.
He's got a thin face. I think he'd look better with a little bit of contour up on the high cheek. We just inject, essentially augment your bone, and in doing that, it will take away some of this long, thin look.
Lilia, they pull your, I have no clue about plastic surgery. I've never been interested in surgically changing my face. You ever just draw boners on the face?
That I don't.
Just be like, what we need to do is a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and a long, we're gonna lengthen here.
The prototypical perfect face would be a face that's symmetric and a face that's balanced. There's a much greater distance to the left cheek versus the center line to the right cheek. I would bring this side out more than this side to create balance.
What if one of my colleagues draws a boner on my face?
For some reason you seem to have an obsession with a phallic.
If as long as we're making my face perfect.
His brows are a little bit low and eyeballs sit forward in their socket.
But it's funny because you say it's because my eyes are forward. I thought it had that effect because my eyes were further back.
No, your eyes are way forward. Think of like a frog. Now, as far as the nose goes, I do think there's some things about your nose you could refine, and it would be a minor refinement. It wouldn't be anything major.
I have broken my nose twice. The first was playing laser tag. I was running in an area where they said no running, and I went headfirst into a wall because it's dark. The second was playing in a work-sponsored basketball league. The guy on offense whips his elbow around and boom, smacks me right in the nose. Got into a fight, got kicked out of the league, did not get fired from my job. That's a supportive work environment. I like Keith's nose, what can I say? Maybe I should get a nose like Keith's nose.
We want people to look like themselves, just better.
Zach has very beautiful eyes. Eugene has such a masculine jawline. And I'm just that other white guy.
A lot of people with his nose wouldn't be bothered by it. We make a little incision right under here. It takes about 4 stitches to close up. No one would ever see it. But through that incision, I can lift everything up and work on the entirety of your nose. Yep. You peel it up? We peel it up.
Oh my God. Okay.
I do both the nose and the chin at the same time. The chin should hit that line, and when I do this, you have daylight behind this line. Now I would do the tripartite to give him better definition to his neck and jawline, which would be a customized implant through here to give you just a little bit of projection here, and even when I do it with my hands, it looks so much better.
So much?
So much.
Will my wife like this better?
Your wife would love this.
Probably my number one biggest insecurity is my hairline.
A lot of the men I see come in for hair issues, whether it be thinning hair, hairline, their hairline receding, whatever the case may be.
I have thinning hair, and so it's something that I've been working on.
Yeah, we do hair restoration here.
So give me new hair.
Okay, that's number one. Anything else?
I would happily keep this. My fear is that once we start talking about the things a professional would change about my face, I'll never be able to look at myself the same way again.
You have a weak chin and a weak jawline. The whole area is weak. And so the face should be broken up into equal thirds. And I would also lengthen and strengthen his chin. I would customize a full implant for him. Based on the CT scan, we create this. We then create an implant from scratch to customize to hook on to the bottom of your jaw.
And that's gonna give me just more of like a pronounced chin.
It's gonna give you just a more crisp neck and jawline.
Crisp. I'm like thinking of like delicious Brussels sprouts, and I fucking love Brussels sprouts.
Well, we can make your face into one hell of a Brussels sprout. So these types of procedures are very popular and very common amongst Hollywood A-listers.
Would you call it an unmasculine face?
I would just say not as, leading man looking as it could be. People would be very surprised to find out how many celebrities have had something done. And I'd put it at 95% of people. There's a little bump here to your bridge. That doesn't necessarily bother me, but if you said make my nose look its best, I would give you a little bit of projection right here. You have what we call a ptosis, which is where the eyelid hangs over the eyeball, in which case you don't see all the color of your eye. You would want to do hair transplants all through this whole area.
How much money is on my face right now? Am I the most expensive?
I've had a problem with every part of my face at some point in my life. Wow. It is part of my culture, but I also, from personal experience, know how emotionally detrimental and devastating that can be, especially for a young person. I've met 6-year-olds who've gotten plastic surgery. Oh, you need better eyes and a thinner nose and a smaller face. I used to want to have like double eyelids, but now I've embraced the single eyelid, so that's not something I personally would consider anymore. Being both LGBT and Korean is super complex. There's really no way to tidily wrap up exactly how many factors are contributing to my history with insecurity.
Is there anything you're seeing on your face that you would like to improve?
I think I have a really large face. I think I need less bone. This could, I think, come out a little bit more. Everything could just be like sharpened. The tip rounds out. Like this feels like it's huge, so I don't know if that needs to go down.
I actually, in this situation, would recommend even less than what you're saying. That width, yeah, a lot of people want that width. Now, in the Asian community,
They like going smaller.
They want it smaller. The width of your face doesn't bother me. However, the easy fix that is very effective is Botox. A big part of my practice is non-surgical, and we can do a lot of things non-surgical that literally take 10 minutes to do. But this is a big, strong muscle here called the masseter muscle. and you have a big, strong one. And so it's kind of like, you know, this has got some prominence.
Dr. Diamond.
But I'm showing you
Right, Dr.
the
Diamond.
difference between a flex muscle and a relaxed muscle. When it's flexed, it's got mass and bulk, and when it's relaxed,
So
it's just...
distracted right now, doctor.
So Eugene has a good facial structure. The one thing that I see that could look better is his nose. I would do a rhinoplasty on him that would involve strengthening the bridge of his nose, and that's about all I would do for him.
So you're just doing one thing on him.
One thing, that's all I would do for him. There are certain things where patients are just wrong. You saying, I like the idea of a stronger chin, that's not necessarily wrong. That can be a personal preference. I just don't see that making you look better.
Wow. Yeah. Well, here we are.
So it's been a couple weeks.
Now it's time to see how sexy I can be.
Yeah, boy oh boy, on me there was a lot.
The Photoshop artist has taken Dr. Diamond's notes and applied them to our face.
How can you say no to a cosmetic surgeon named Dr. Diamond? That's like saying no to a chef called Chef Foie Gras.
He said he could make my cheekbones stronger. I agree with that. He can make my jaw stronger. I agree with that. I'm pretty soft. I'm what the internet would refer to as a soy boy, but I love soy sauce. You guys can fuck yourselves. Soy is great. Now let's look at the new, improved Keith Habersberger, the most beautiful version of Beautiful Keith. 3, 2, 1. You ever played Mario Party and you puffed up the balloons of somebody's face? God, whoa, it looks so weird. Looks like I'm trying to keep a little secret. It looks like a guy who came in to murder me from the future. Somebody poured a bunch of water into my mouth and said, hold it there. He made my lips smaller. He got rid of my big old DSLs. He said that I kind of looked like a frog. This makes me look way more like a toad or a frog. I don't know if it looks any better. It just looks different. All right, so yeah, that looks like me. Nice, strong Adam's apple. Whoa, the side view is hot. Whoa, that side view looks good. Woo!
It's him, it just looks a little better.
From the front, it's all like, who's that? But from the side, it's like, who's that?
The changes we saw from the side view involved with the tripartite, which is reshaping the chin and neck, and I've also reshaped his nose slightly by smoothing out the bridge and refining the tip.
I never thought my nose was fucked up, but now I look at this and be like, fuck this nose I got. I never thought I'd get a nose job, but then the guy was saying 98% of all the people on camera get plastic surgery. I'm 98% of people. Should I?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to see this. Can we just end the video right now? No? Okay. I don't want to see something that's gonna lower my confidence. Let's find out what the new me looks like. Introducing Ned 2.0 in 3, 2, 1. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I don't like it at all. Oh, thank goodness. Well, I was right all along. Don't need any of this stuff, but the people that do, good for you. Not me, though. Wow. This dude sucks. I don't know, the more you look at the after photo, the more you normalize it. And then the more you think like, oh, well, I guess like, you know, maybe it would be nicer to have like a more straight nose. It's not my nose. My nose is kind of bumpy. It's seen some shit. Okay, let's see my after profile shot. 3, 2, 1. No. I don't know, I guess your profile is not something you ever get to see, so it can be a little more objective. Like the front on, it's the face I see in the mirror every day. So to change it is really jarring to me. But the profile, it's almost like, you know, a work of art. Other videos we did, the results were very drastic and it really turned me off. This is so similar that even though it's jarring at first, after a while you start to consider it.
It's hard for me to always see a more idealized version of myself because I've always imagined it my entire life. So seeing this will be very interesting. Let's see the new Eugene. 1, 2, 3. Do we not have the after photo?
That That is the after photo.
What? Are you serious? I can barely see it. Which I guess if you have a good nose job, it's not supposed to be that noticeable, but nothing else?
Those were the only notes Dr. Diamond gave.
Maybe some of the problems I had with my face were not as problematic as I always thought.
If you put a panel of 1,000 plastic surgeons together, every single one of them would say, yeah, those changes look better. There are certain people with certain procedures, like some that we talked with the other guys. But in this case, this would be personal preference. Whether you made these changes or not, a panel of 1,000 plastic surgeons would be mixed and split on which looks better. I think his face looks great.
To have a professional like Dr. Diamond recommend so little is, I don't know, it's kind of, I was gonna say eye-opening, but that's the opposite of what he did.
Dr. Diamond was the most excited to work on my face.
This would be awesome. This would be so much fun to do.
So yeah, I'm nervous. Basically, he wanted to rip my face open, take my face off, and switch it with John Travolta's face. Sorry, no, that's face off. Oh, and he wanted to make my eyelids less lazy so that you could see my beautiful eyes.
What if like there's no change at all and it's like the beauty was in you all along?
Nope, that's not this video.
Okay, here we go.
Oh! Who the fuck is that? How bizarre. That's not me. He looks like he plays lacrosse. I'm just doing like this. Okay, the jaw, definitely better. Oh God, no, now this thing is happening where the more I look at him, the more I'm like, yeah, that's Zach. The hair restoration surgery is something that I've not only wanted, I've kind of been convinced I was going to do. Because I always complained about the big old size of my forehead, but now that I see him, he doesn't have a forehead, so my tiny head looks so tiny. And now I'm torn in between. I hate both faces. I hate them both. That's really what I look like from the side? That is not a strong profile. You sure you didn't like mess with the proportions there and just shrunk? Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, that's so clearly better. Oh wow, I'm going back and forth. It's like the most horrifying little GIF. Wow, I really just don't have a chin at all in real life. There's a little bit of an uncanny valley going on, but I think it's the Photoshop, so I'm trying to ignore that. I mean, I never see the profile of my face, so I wasn't aware until this moment that I actually hated it. Oh, fuck. I almost feel like I'm bad for not looking hotter. And that's not something I'm used to as a man. To see a perfect face next to my own face and feel like I'm like letting the world down for not being hot enough. And I imagine that is an experience that women must have all the time. I don't want to look at the other Zach anymore. I'd prefer to look at this Zach. Oh well.
Do you think people would recognize the plastic surgery version of you?
I don't think people would recognize me in version 2. I'm really all over the place, because part of me is like, I would never do this. Part of me is like, yes, we should go to him right now.
Doing this video has actually made me more comfortable with the possibility of plastic surgery, which I didn't think that would be the case at all. But it's like, it's my face. How can I change my face? Ariel would definitely notice, and I think she'd be a little weirded out by it. I'd rather look like myself than look perfect.
I don't think I would ever make the changes to my face to fit an ideal beauty standard, but I could see making changes to my face to fit what I want to be projecting to the world. The more appealing I can be to make more friends, that's more desirable to me. Whereas the front picture of the stronger jaw, it looks like a more masculine, intimidating person, and that's not the kind of person I want to be.
Even the fact that I'm like considering whether or not I care about this, there's a luxury of choice attached to being a straight man, whether or not you're going to engage with your physical and facial attractiveness in a way that I don't think that gay men and women are able to get away with as much. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, I know that that's known. For there to be someone who can change the things about you that you don't like, yeah, I totally understand why people would do that. I understand why even I might do that.
I feel like that cosmetic surgery is so ingrained in our culture, whether we know about it or not. When you feel pressure to get it outside of your own will, then a self-worth can turn really quickly into self-loathing. My mother once told me when I used to be very, very self-conscious, she said, "Are you trying to hide your family's face?" Past Eugene would consider getting this. I don't think I would get this now.
I certainly think that people watching should be comfortable with who they are and find their own inner beauty. But also, I definitely understand more why people would want to do this.
This is a great option because it's really not that different. Yeah, so I definitely recommend Photoshop for all sorts of changes you want to make.
Has anyone ever asked you to draw a boner on their face?
That I've not been
Could
asked.
I ask you to just like a little one, like right in the center of the forehead, just at the very end?